Welcome to Gardening with Calyx. I am Thelma, and I've taken you into our courtyard trellis area where we have most of our more exotic tropical plants. I say exotic because they require a little bit more attention, usually with regard to light and other maintenance practices. From time to time you will see the staghorn fern. I have 3 of them here and I really like them. I'm waiting for somebody to say, why don't we do a feature on staghorn fern? But today I am going to be featuring the lobster claw because it is now at the stage where it needs some special attention. The last video we did was later last year where we featured it showing off its red blooms in the Christmas season. Now it's mid-March and it has grown rather lanky. There's still a few blooms left, but if we want to get the spectacular blooms, much more blooms come September, October. It is time now for us to prune, and at the same time I'm pruning, I'm of course going to get cuttings so that I can propagate more of this spectacular lobster claw. So please keep watching. Thanks for staying. And before I get started, I want to give a special shout out to our regular viewers. So many persons who appreciate what we're doing to the point where we passed that special milestone, 5,000 subscribers and counting. So we're asking for your continued support in the months and years to come. Now, if it's your first time visiting our channel, then we're sure you are going to find lots of interesting information on a wide range of tropical flowers, fruits and vegetables. So please take the time after this video to find out what else we have in our show bag. Now it's time I get started on the topic at hand, on pruning and otherwise caring for the lobster claw so that she will give us wonderful blooms later on in the year. Now what I want to do first is really just take a look at the potted plant that was featured in the last video we did. It has grown up quite nicely and graced us with several really vibrant, lovely blooms. So let's go take a look at that plant. And here is a lovely potted lobster claw, making quite an impression in this section of the courtyard. The brilliant orange color that is picked up as we pan, as we go further down the walkway here. You see that repetitive reddish orange color that takes your eye all along that pathway. And I was happy to keep walking on a daily basis, just admiring the lovely view. And I was preparing to start to prune this lovely plant to get cuttings when I noticed ants crawling. And closer look, yes, ants are usually associated with scale insects. And even worse, there is a trail, the ants trail. Ants are taking parts of the portions of the potting soil up the stem in order to camouflage their existence. Well, yes, we knew that there were snail damage and I would be treating for that. But this level of scale infestation escaped my attention. And what they say, do as I say but not as I do. There are times when I do fall behind. So how do I tackle this problem? The ants, what we call biting ants, and I definitely don't wish to be bitten, well, not immediately. So I put on protective gloves. The ants are still busy in their trails. So not to be outdone by the ants, what I'm going to do today is I'm still going to proceed with the idea of taking cuttings from this plant, but after I've taken the cuttings, I will definitely have to apply treatments to control the scales as well as the ants. I'll be using BioNeem to control the scale insects and an insecticidal powder to control the ants. As usual, anytime we cutting the tissue of a plant, since this roll cut, the secateur does lots of duties around the garden. We sanitize using 70% isopropyl alcohol. What we're aiming to do now is to judiciously remove sufficient cuttings that we can get materials for propagation. And also, as I cut, I'm making the cut close to a node. The young shoots will come at this node in two directions usually, and giving the end result would be new growth that gives the plant a bushier appearance. And without a doubt, we have to remove the blooms at this point in time because that looks to be the perfect resting place for the ants. I really don't want to take off any more cuttings from this because the main problem is that we are trying to control the ants and the scales. The recommended rate of application for the bioneem is 2 teaspoons per gallon of water. Plus, I'll add a few drops of liquid detergent to disperse the oil droplets. To save time, I'll speed up the mixing. I'll keep the remainder of the bioneem mixture to treat the cuttings. I want the ants treatment to come in direct contact with the ants before I spray the bioneem. The active ingredient is permethrin. This is usually quite handy to use around the garden. And as I'm applying, you can see that I'm giving the ants a generous dusting, including those under the pot. Now I do wear a mask, a protective covering over my nose because I do not, although it's organic, I do not wish to be breathing bioneem. So just a minute. Fully protected, I'm now giving this plant a very thorough covering of the bioneem, making sure that it gets under the leaves, on top of the leaves, on the top of the surface of the soil, everywhere that the scale insects can be hiding. And typical for bioneem, it works best if you make 2 or 3 applications within 5 to 7 days of each application. Okay, nothing more to do here. So let me return to the pruning of the mother plant. I'll start with the stem that's within easy reach. Yes, I'm seeing a few ants, not as many as the ants in the pot. So I'm going to be giving them the same treatment to control the ants. 2 joints, so we're taking off the spent blooms. Do that where you hopefully can see it. And I'll be cutting close to the bottom joint, so out shoots here and continue flushing to the back. I think I just got an ant in my nostril. I'll continue pruning off camera so that I can get a good amount of cuttings for the next round of propagation. I got a total of 8 cuttings and I'll set them to root shortly. They usually root in about 8 weeks. We will pot them out and provide you with updates. We will also continue with 2 or 3 more applications of the bioneem, and we'll also provide those updates to you. As an honored guest in our trellis garden, it would be a grave oversight on my part not to mention this lovely amaryllis that has been sharing space with the lobster claw. You're looking at the last amaryllis bloom of the bulbs that were prepared for the December 2023 holiday season. And this bulb, this is actually the 2nd time it's blooming. And because I anticipated that it was going to be grand, I decided to hold the video for 6 days so that I can share it with you. And here it is. 6 of its 8 flowers are opened at the same time. Lovely, isn't it? regular viewers would know that we're taking the amaryllis as a serious semi-commercial garden project, and we are sharing our experiences with you as we go along, and hoping that some of you who are viewing would join us on this journey. We have set our latest batch of bulbs, which would be available in the 2 or so weeks before and after Mother's Day. And if you're interested in getting some of these lovely plants, then please visit our website, helixservices.com, and place your orders before it's too late. Now, we hope you enjoyed the content we provided today, and that if you did, you will share it with your friends. So until the next video, I am Thelma in the trellis area of the Calyx Garden, saying thanks for watching, take care, bye-bye.